Are we on? I think so. Good evening. If I'm coming through loud and clear the other end, give us a thumbs up under the video to let me know it's working okay. Or stick something in the comments, one or the other. Let's see, is it working? Bum, 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 bum. Not sure. Let's give it a minute or two. Click the little thumbs up thing, somebody underneath the video, that would help to let me know it's working okay. There we go. Thanks, Stevie. Lovely. Evening all. A very jolly day here in Cambridge. Slight confession, it's been so lovely and warm. I've not been sat in front of the computer all day like I should have been, making videos and taking photographs and one thing and another. But thought I'd better catch up with a bit of gardening and tidying up outside and so on. So never mind, there we are. You've probably all been doing the same if you've got any sense. Evening Stevie, evening Peter, evening Paul, and anybody else who's watching. I hope we're all well. So only a little short one really, because we only sold 5 things this last weekend, although 5 quite nice things really. So if I find the right button, which is I think this one, here we are. We'll just run through those a couple of times. If anyone's got any comments or about any of them, or questions, or thinks they were madly expensive or vastly cheap or anything in between, stick a comment down below. If you're wondering why you can't comment, YouTube has a habit of, and I don't know why, of people saying they've subscribed in the past so they can comment and chat and whatnot, and for some reason, without them knowing, they've got unsubscribed. I don't know why it happens. It's happened to some YouTube channels that I watch as well, so to me. So it just must be some glitch in YouTube. So just check that you're still subscribed to the channel, then you'll be able to join in with the chat below with everybody else. Right, so we had the Jennings Galaxy, made 398. Not a bad one actually, reasonably tidy. Just do a little bit of a tweak here and there, but it's, you know, half the price or less of a governor, isn't it? So I think in those terms it's still quite cheap really, isn't it? And the next one, Miss World Order as usual, if we're allowed to say Miss World these days, probably not, is the that nice Sega Bonanza. I think it's being picked up tomorrow actually. 650. It's quite a nice smart machine, all done, ready to go. And then the next one along was, come on, it's going a bit slow tonight. The Mills Tycoon, that lovely Mills Tycoon payout pinball. Rare thing that. It was a difficult one to know because we'd never sold one before, never seen one or known of one sold in this country before. Several people asked me what sort of money I thought it would make. I said, well, you know, as a guesstimate, and it was only a guesstimate, so I had kind of nothing to go on other than instinct really. I thought 1,200 to 1,500 maybe, something like that. So I wasn't far off, interestingly, but it was purely a guess. I had no idea really. But yeah, lovely thing. I'd be kind of sad to see it go because I quite like playing it really. Quite a fun thing. Evening, who else has joined us? Rocko403 and David. Good evening, good evening. I'll let these run through in a minute. And the next one up was the come on. Here we are. That lovely French crane, extra wide one, extra heavy as well. I think it's about half a rainforest in it. 1,789. So yeah, again, quite a good buy, I think, really, that one. It was I don't know, maybe because it's just so big it perhaps put a few people off. I thought it might make a little bit more than that, but a nice thing. And then last and the most expensive of this last week was should have some fireworks or something, shouldn't we? The Wonders Plus 4, 2,160. Again, it was one a few people asked me, what did I think it was going to make? And I said, well, I could see it making over £2,000, so yeah, that's probably about what I thought, really. Again, it's one I'd never seen another one sold before. In fact, I didn't even know this one existed until it arrived. So it's the first one of those I've seen in nearly 40 years, worryingly, of buying and selling slot machines. So it'll be probably a while before we see another one, I guess. So there we are. So that's all we sold this last week, these 5 machines. I'll just let them run through while we're having a little chit chat. If anyone's got any observations, comments, queries, whatever, type in below. And we'll see what people have got to say. Peter, people seem to be realistic with the price they will accept. Yeah, I think people are being realistic, which is good, because we are selling just about everything the first time round, which is nice. So yeah, I think we're getting kind of good but fair prices, I'd say. So really, which is what you want to achieve in it, because then you're doing as good as you can for both buyer and seller. That's always the same with the auction. It's difficult when you're sat in the middle as auctioneer, trying to please both sides. Obviously, the buyers want to buy it as cheap as they can get, and the sellers want to sell for as much as they can possibly get. And I'm stuck in the middle, trying to keep both sides of the parties, both parties happy. So it's a really trickier job than most people realise, I guess, in a way. So the best we can always do, if we can come up with what I call it, a good but fair price in the middle, then hopefully we keep both sides happy. And that's what we seem to be doing. We're getting more and more stuff in. There's another 5 machines, I think, arrived yesterday. I'll just let this go through and have a quick look at those. And I'll run through this again then in a minute. Which I was going to photograph today, but as I say, it's been such nice weather, I just didn't fancy being stuck inside all day in front of computers and cameras and things, so apologies. I'm only human like everybody else. Yeah, so if you go over to if you haven't already had a look, I will put proper links on here somewhere, but under the latest news, which is here, category latest news, there is a link here in this article to our Instagram, which if you haven't already seen it, it's just www.instagram.com/colcon.uk, so just slash and then our website address, which we just stick quick pictures on as stuff arrives, basically, before I had time to list it on the website properly and photograph it and one thing and another. So yesterday these 5 machines came in. So we got a Sega Monaco, that one is. A Sega Mad Money. A nice little 21 trade stimulator. Who made those? Gretchen, I think. A Jameson Roulette, which one don't see very often, that particular one. And a little Bravo gum and card vendor. Again, all nice condition, all working. All got keys, locks. Yeah, it's a nice little batch of machines, really. So they'll be up in the next day or two on the website. So keep an eye out for those. Some fairground stuff arrived today as well, so this fairground stuff keeps rolling in. Some milk churn games and some Cherryplane chairs and signs and bits and bobs. So again, I'll get all that sorted out in due course. Let's just go back to the prices and roll those through again in case anybody has joined us late. That's what we're supposed to be looking at. Yes, so there's a bit more for sale this Sunday. We'll just have a look at that in a minute. We'll just run through this one again for anybody who's missed it the first time, if they joined us late. So we had the Galaxy at $398. And then, why aren't these changing? If I press the pause button or something. probably. Duh. Right, let's start again, sorry. The Jennings Galaxy made 398. The Sega Bonanza, nicely restored, jackpot and everything, 650. The very lovely and very rare Mills Tycoon Payout Pinball is 1140. The lovely French crane, Bonzi and Sopranzi crane, 1789. And then the most expensive this week was the Wonders Plus for the Giant All-in at 2,160. So there we are, that's this week's little batch. If we just go back to the website, so selling this week, selling this Sunday, there's what have we got? We've got some enamel signs selling, a few books, a couple of little machines, a couple of jukebox wall boxes, Jennings back door, a Jennings cash box, which are often missing, so don't miss that if you need one for your Jennings chief, or where else do they fit, governors, club chiefs, that sort of thing. One of these cast iron bases, there's actually 5 of these bases, all the same, and what I've done is I've put them to finish a week apart. So if you did want more than one, if they all finish the same week, you wouldn't know which, if you want 2 for example, which 2 to make offers unnecessarily. So if I do them a week apart, if you don't get the first one, you know, you've got to try a bit harder for the next one and so on. So that's why I've done it like that. But I can store them here no problem if you're wanting 2 or 3 of them until until all 5 have gone, and you know, see what you bought. There's a whole load of spares coming, 2 big boxes full of spares I've got to sort out and get on again, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. If it's not blazing sunshine, then I'll be in photographing and listing spare parts. Dear, excuse me. There's some good bits. There's the Jennings back door. I think there's another Mills high top hood, back bonnet. What other bits were there? There were some good spares anyway. So keep your eye out for those. Oh, I seem to have just disappeared. Oh, and I'm back again. Is the stream still working? I disappeared my end and I've just come back on again, so don't know why that was. Hopefully we're still working. Let's just go back over to the prices for a minute. Stevie, do you know whether you'll be in Cambridge at the weekend yet for collection? Yes, I will. I'm here all week, as they say. So tomorrow I'm here. People come in Thursday, Friday. People coming Saturday and Sunday. So yes, I'm here every day until Sunday. So basically, come whatever time suits you. Just let me know, because I've got a couple of odd jobs to do. Pop into Cambridge for a couple of bits of banking and bits and bobs like that. But other than that, I'm around whatever time suits you. Next week again, I'll be in Leamington at least one day. I'm not sure which yet. Probably Tuesday at a guess at the moment, the way things are looking. But I'll know nearer the weekend what day I'm going to be, or days I'm going to be in Leamington next week. If you need to pick up anything from there. So those other machines I just showed you, they'll all be here in Cambridge for viewing. Well, they are here already, but you know what I mean. They'll be up on the website if you want to come and view them, have a look at them. I'll get the videos done. There's another lovely big metal sign I've got to put on. So there's lots and lots of spare parts to go through and list all of those. And what else is there here waiting to go on? Well, apart from about 400 books, which I haven't got around to doing yet. Small bits and bobs as well. Anyway, I'll sort them out, put them on obviously. But yes, it'd be good to get some of this big stuff out of the way. I think the crane's going tomorrow, and I think the pin tables go later in the week, so that'll make a bit more space. So I've got that lovely big wireless jukebox here that's taking up quite a bit of space. The band is going out tomorrow, so yeah, hopefully by the weekend we'll have a bit more space. A couple of people have asked about the big what's that machine called? Did we decide it was called Selector Color or whatever it is? That enormous big weird kind of flying sorcery looking electromechanical thingy. That will be for sale in due course. I can't realistically get it to here in Cambridge, so it might not even be for a few months yet. But it's not going anywhere else. We've got it. It's in the Elephant House. So if you're wondering why it's not appeared within a week or two, it's just a case of it's going to have to be viewed there. So may well wait until we're back over there a bit more regularly. Because it's I'm considering at the moment with the fairground art and stuff, because obviously it's a lot bigger stuff and a lot of it I can't get here. How's here everywhere really? I might need to try and schedule something a bit more regular. For example, be in Leamington every Saturday and here in Cambridge every Sunday, or something of that ilk. So I'm thinking on that one. But panic not, the big Selector Color, whatever it was, will be here for sale soon. Rocco, a great price for the +4. Yeah, I thought it would make sort of £2 odd. Other giant Allwins we've sold in the past, that's kind of the sort of money they make. There's a particularly rare one. I mean, they're all pretty rare, but that one's particularly rare. Nice condition. You've got the golf theme going on as well. So yeah, a bit of a split interest on it. I've got a collector actually who collects golf machines, and he didn't buy it. I think he tried, but he didn't get it. Somebody else got it, so yeah, he'll probably be kicking himself, because it's one of those things that you're probably not going to see another one ever. When this rare stuff comes up, you have to think to yourself, well, if you've not seen one in 30 years, you're probably not going to see another one for another 30 years. So you may never have the chance to add it to your collection. So sometimes when something rare comes along, you just have to dig deep and go for it if you want to have it. But I think we've all done it. I've paid what seemed far too much for things in the past, for things to add to my collection. Just because I thought I'd never get another chance. And I probably have never had another chance to buy them. And now, realistically, I could sell them for more than I paid for them, even though I paid too much for them at the time, just because of the way the market goes. But I'd never sell them anyway, or I'd hope to never sell them, so yeah. Such is the mad world of collecting. We're all mad, aren't we? Let's face it. Any more? Any more questions, comments, or anything? Anybody need to know anything? Peter says, we've all paid way too much sometimes. Yep, we certainly have. But it kind of averages out as well, doesn't it? If you buy enough stuff, you hopefully buy one or two bits that are relatively cheap. It makes up for the one or two bits that you pay too much for. And it all kind of comes out in the wash. And I said before, the beauty now of this system is if you're selling, especially if you're selling 2 or 3 things at a time, you don't have to worry about reserve prices because you're always in control of whether your stuff sells or not. So if, for example, you entered 3 machines you want £500 each for, in the good old days of an auction, you put them in with a £500 reserve on. Let's say the first one sells for £600, great. The next one sells for £500, bang on the reserve, lovely. Third one only gets to £400, doesn't sell. So you end up taking one home. So you sold 2 for 1,100 quid and you take one home. With this system, if you've got those same 3 offers, 600, 500, 400, you think to yourself, well, hang on a minute, 600, 500, 400 adds up to 1,500 quid, which is what I wanted for the 3. I've just got it in a slightly different order, just slightly different way. You've still got your £1,500, so you can sell all 3, and you've achieved what you wanted to achieve. And that way, you've sold the machines, you've got rid of them, you've got your cash in to buy something else with. So this way of doing things does work really well for sellers who are selling more than one thing at a time. And buyers, again, the people are getting the hang of it now. I was talking to somebody today, he come to collect his stuff, and yeah, we're saying it's it's different. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's kind of a more relaxed thing. You've got more time to think about it. If you really want something, you dig deep and put a big offer in. Do your best to buy it. But the one thing you can't do is keep being pushed up that bit more, and end up really paying more than you really wanted to, because this way you have to make your mind up. You can't get auction fever, you can't get carried away. So for that respect, it works well for the seller as well, because you concentrate your mind, really think what you want to pay for something. And if you get it, hopefully you're happy with the price you paid, and if you don't, well, just try harder next time, don't you? Or buy something else. I've paid way too much for old cars over the years. Yeah, cars are a funny thing, aren't they? They go up and down and up and down and up and down. By quite a lot. They seem to be going up again at the minute. And the oldest cars, some relatively modern cars, make so much money. It's crazy. I was talking to the car guy who I work with on the TV a lot, who supplies all the cars, and I help him find cars. And he was saying the hardest cars to find often are things like early 80s stuff, like little hatchbacks and things. The early Peugeot hatchbacks and early Fiestas and things like that. And good ones are crazy money. They're like 25 grand or something. Because they're just not there. They're just not there to be had. They're so rare. Whereas if they need 30s, if they want an Austin 7, there's hundreds, thousands of them around. Or stuff of that era, or even up until kind of like the 50s, like Morris Minors and all that sort of era of stuff. Dead easy to get. And it kind of, I was saying, that's interesting because it kind of equates to what we're seeing with slot machines, right? Our field, that early stuff, 30s machines, 40s machines, pre-war stuff. There's tons of it around, really, comparatively. But as we've seen, to try and find some of the late 60s stuff, the early electromechanical stuff, or rather later stuff before it went all electronic, I mean, is actually really rare, as we're discovering. People want it. As with the little wall mounting pushers, as with the Easy Push, it's been the most wanted machine for months. Now we've got one, so it's going to be interesting to see what that does. I suspect we'll probably set the world record price for an Easy Push. Wouldn't surprise me. It's like this little roulette. Have we sold one of those before? The Jameson roulette. That's a nice looking machine. Just looking while this is running through. Jameson roulette. floor standing one. It's different. Jameson, automatics, machines. Let's see if I've got one on here. Don't think I sold one of those before. No, I haven't. Interesting. So much the same as the Electro Dart and Rotor Pool and all those, you know, just flashy lights around in the circle jobs. I can't see that we've sold one before. So that'd be interesting as well. Pete says, I agree, cannot find a Branco machine. No, Branco machines are few and far between. Again, it's one of those I remember as a kid in the arcades. It's been Hunstanton, Wells on Sea, Yarmouth, where we used to go, around East Anglia. Loads of that sort of stuff. Because as a kid, sort of mid-70s, that's what the arcades were full of. These really interesting machines. And, you know, you sort of think back to some of these machines and think, oh yeah, I'd like one of those, and they're just not there to be had anymore. Shame, really. Stevie says, second-hand cars at the moment are through the roof. There's worldwide shortage of electrical components. They can't churn out even new cars at the moment to keep up with demand. Yeah. Second-hand cars. I've got 6 cars. Have I got? Perhaps I should sell some cars. I think I'm digging up my old Land Rover. That's going to be sold soon. The Mum's MG, that's going for MOT tomorrow. The Jag got MOT the other day, so that's good for another year. Lotus is off the road at the minute because I bust the oil cooler on it. I'm not selling the Aston, keep that one. But yeah, I've got too many cars. I should sell some cars, really. It's funny, I took the truck in last week, the week before, into Cambridge had to go to the main dealers, because the only people who've got any space to do anything, to do any work, for brakes and service and whatnot, and the forecourt was half empty. This is Marshall's in Cambridge, massive dealership. And I was talking to the chap there and said, yeah, we just can't get the stock. So there's definitely a shortage of stuff. Fortunately, we're still getting slot machines coming through the door, and I've got fairground stuff piling up in the yard. Enamel signs I'm short of. If anybody's got any enamel signs I want to sell, I've got people wanting to buy enamel signs, and I can't seem to get any at the moment. But I'd say machines, touch wood, are coming in. Have we got any new wants this week? Let me just have a look while this is trundling through. No, I don't think there's any new wanted adverts at the moment. Let me just have a look over there. No. Spares, there's well, I think I showed you the other night, didn't I? Lots of spare parts wanted. So do have a look on the spare parts page, see if you've got anything in the shed you can cash in, because there's some good money offered for bits. So, you know, if you've got a part you can sell for 50 or 100 quid to somebody, then that's 50 or 100 pound you can spend more on the next machine, is a way to think about it. Just for something that you've got sat on the shelf in the shed, in case it comes in handy, and it probably won't. Somebody wants an Allwyn trigger. I think there's an Allwyn trigger come in. Some other little bits. I think there's a couple of Allwyn Bryans. I think they are payout slides. If anyone needs payout slides for Bryans. Yeah, so I'll get those on later in the week as well. Any more for any more, or if not, I will call it a night. I'll go and have a cup of tea, and I'll be back on Friday night with all the new stuff for this week to have a look through, which hopefully by then will all be photographed and videoed, so we can have a look at all of those and see if we need to, anybody needs any questions, any extra info about them or whatever. As I'm here for the next 5 days in Cambridge, or 6 days, whatever it is. So if you want to come look at anything, pick anything up, drop anything off, just ping us a message through the website, and you can pretty much come whenever suits you, really. I can work around. I've got a few odd trips to do out and about locally, but I don't think there's anything particularly fixed, so I can, you know, work around you, as it were, whatever suits you time-wise, if you're coming up or over or down, depending where you live. Just let me know. You can sit out in the garden, have an ice cream or something. It's a bit warm for a cup of tea today. So I think that's probably about it, isn't it? Anybody got anything to say? Anything else? Doesn't look like it. So I'll just have a quick look here. I'll just blow this page up a little bit so you can see it a bit better. Yep, so these 5 machines are new on the site the other day. A Reaper roller top, a Cedar Buckingham, an NSM Bowling, a nice Baramat, and a nice Durmat. And there's 5 machines, whatever it was, I come up 5, yeah, I think there's 5 machines came in Monday. So I'll get those up as well, and a whole load of spare parts to go on, like 50 lots or something like that of spare parts, a lot. So hopefully we'll have all that lot sorted out, videoed where appropriate, all for Friday night's video, and we can have a chat about all that lot then. So I'll just stick a quick note on here. Next chit chat Friday night at 5 PM. Yeah. Ding, boom, shove that in there. So unless anybody's got anything else to say in the next few minutes, I will go and leave you all to it. We're just going to have a look at the to see this is the stuff that finishes this Sunday night. So check out those if you haven't already. Oh, I've not done a video of the shooter yet. I must do that tomorrow. A little shooting game. So a shooting game takes a sixpence. You put a sixpence in the top of the gun and actually fire the sixpence. If you get it in the target, you get your coin back. Simple little thing. So yeah, don't forget to offer any of those. And it's all gone quiet, so I will call it a night, and I will catch up with you all on Friday night. Anything in the meantime, ping us a message on the website, and catch you Friday. Nighty night.